Hello, friends. So many times, more often than not, that so many parts of our culture and of our society today doesn't really want to hear about the preaching of sin, doesn't really want to hear about like the consequences of sin, because that's a very uncomfortable subject. It's a subject that is offensive, if you were. Even though Romans chapter 6 is very clear in that the wages of sin is death. So now what the world is wanting to do is kind of water it down a little bit, kind of make it more palpable, to make it more comfortable to listen to. Well, that would be the same thing as if you came over to my house with your young children and I had a bottle of poison, because we all have like cleaning products and different things in our home. But if I had something there and it was poison, had the skull and crossbones just shouting, caution, poison, keep out of reach of children. And if you were to come over to my home and I'm like, I want to make this a little bit more comfortable for you. I know this is probably scary for your kids to see, so I'm going to relabel this as peppermint candy or something like that. Well, of course, I would never do that. That would be dangerous. And of course, I'm sure you would never want me to do that. Well, that's exactly what's happening when we're trying to call sin something else other than what it really is, and that is sin. Romans 13:8 clearly states that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So what God called sin 1,000 years ago is still sin today. Now, as we're sharing the gospel, I'm saying we should never do that from a judgment seat. We should never do that from a position of condescending others, of course. We want to share the gospel with love and with meekness and with compassion. What I'm talking about is challenging you and encouraging you to guard your home, guard your families. Be careful of the news and the social media and the music and all the different things that are coming into our home, seeking to hide sin, to cover sin, and to relabel it as something else. Hey, we've got to look at what God's Word says. We've got to rely on God's standard of living, on God's standard of morality, and not what the world says is or isn't. Okay, so I want to challenge you. Seek God's Word. Seek His presence in your life and shut down the relabeling of sin in your home. God bless you.